B&B Entertainment here, and today we're doing a Halloween franchise tier list. Now, before we get started, my favorite horror movie villain of all time is Michael Myers. Sorry, I had to get that in there. But real talk, my favorite franchises, horror movies, favorite horror villain, of course. Um, Getting this in here before Halloween ends in October. I probably will, whenever I watch that in theaters, I probably will come back to this and update it for that movie and tell you where I rank it. But we're going to jump straight into the first movie. We got them in order here, all the way to kills. So, the first movie, original, iconic. Unlike the original Friday the 13th, this was really good, well done, and to me, it's S tier because it's the original. It's up there. It's awesome. Great atmosphere, scary elements, all etc. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. It's a great story for the first movie, and you're sitting here like, wow, this is really scary. But anyway, on to the second movie. This one is a direct sequel, and it's the same night pretty much. It's supposed to be. And Laurie Strode goes to a hospital, and that's where the movie takes place most of the time, in the hospital. So nighttime at a hospital looks freaky. It kind of gave me scary vibes when I went to a hospital at night to like visit people and stuff. It just made me feel like that was going on. So if I was to rate this one, I would honestly say it's A tier. Not as good as the first movie, but it's close. It's up there. So now on to the next movie. We're trying to just jump straight through these. I might talk about some more than others, but some of them don't need to be talked. Season of the Witch. Alright. Whenever I seen this movie coming out, I was a kid, of course. I've already watched the first two. I was like, oh, Halloween 3. That's going to be awesome. I watched it. There was no Michael Myers. Now, I'm not saying that the no Michael Myers in this is the reason why I don't like this movie. It's not. I like the movie. It's not bad. It has a pretty good story. What they wanted to do was make an anthology series out of this after that, but they realized that Michael Myers was a top tier villain and people loved. So they had no choice but to bring him back, which we'll talk about that next movie. If I was going to rate this movie, like I said, it's above others and below others at the same time. If I had to sit down and watch it, it would be below the first two for sure. So I want to go ahead and put it. I don't know why C is below D, but we're just going to pretend D is C. So I'll put it at C. You know what? That's bothering me, so we're just going to fix that. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I didn't make this, by the way, so it's going to be C. Okay. Like I said, it's not terrible. It's not that good. I mean, it's good, but it's not good because Michael Myers is there. That's just my main opinion. But it's a good movie overall. It's worth watching. So, Halloween 4, like I said, they had to bring Old Boy back. That's what they call the return of Michael Myers. I personally like this movie. I thought Rachel was one of my favorite final girls in this series, besides Laurie Strode, of course. And the movie itself is amazing. It has a horror element to it. I have went through and talked about almost every one of these on a Halloween talk on my videos. If y'all want to go check those out, they should be in a playlist. Yeah, they're separately, by the way. Halloween 4 is really good to me. I personally think this one's better than the second one. So I'm going to put it above the second one. Put it on A tier. Now, this is where it gets interesting. 5. Oh, and 4, I didn't like the mask. You got the cool ass mask on the cover, but you had a shitty mask in the movie. I don't understand that, by the way. 5. This is a very controversial movie for people. The Revenge of Michael Myers. A lot of people did not like this movie. They did not like the mask. I didn't really have a problem with the mask, but I understood what they meant because it looked like a witch's face. But I think I prefer that mask. Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to decide between 4 or 5 masks, in my opinion. But yeah, this one introduced. Well, the fourth one actually introduced Jamie Lloyd, which is Laurie Strode's daughter. They killed. Apparently, Laurie Strode faked her death. So they brought in a new character, the Strode family situation. And that's his niece. And you follow her in like these next 2 movies too. 5 though, The Revenge, it made Jamie into like a comatose state, I guess, and she could feel what Michael was feeling in a way. I mean, it had its ups and its downs, you know. The one down that it pissed me off was when they killed Rachel off. That's what fucked me up. The movie itself, though, the horror element to it is really dope. Like I said, my favorite scenes is when he's in the woods and Loomis is talking to him to come home and he can see his silhouette through the woods. It's pretty dope. I would probably rate it below 4 and 2 for real. It's good. It's a good movie, but it's not as good as 2 or 4 to me, or the first one, of course. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now this is really controversial because a lot of people did not like this movie. I, for one, am not those type of people because I really enjoyed this movie. I thought the mask was perfect. Uh, there's a couple of flaws that I did not like. One thing that was good was when they brought Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle. That was good. And they was gonna bring him back into Halloween Kills, but he couldn't because of Ghostbusters, which is okay. But this one had a good story. One thing I didn't like is when they they killed off Jamie Lloyd. And she had a baby apparently by Michael, which is her uncle, which is weird to me. So that's there, yeah. The mask was phenomenal. The horror element to it was awesome. I thought it's definitely above 5 because the way Paul Rudd beat the fuck out of Michael in the movie, and it just like I told you in Friday the 13th, there's gotta be this person who guy or girl who will beat the shit out of you as a villain, you know, the back and forth. I love that, and Laurie Strode is the main one that does that, you know. But Paul Rudd, as Tommy Doyle, did that in this movie. He took a pipe to the man. He beat the shit out of him. The ooze was coming out. But anyway, I would definitely rate it above Halloween 5. Uh, there's just like the curse situation I did not like because of how I didn't like how they was making him a curse. It explained a lot more than we would think though. But I'll put it an A, and I would say it's above 2, but after 4. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Now on to the next one. This movie right here, this movie right here should not have been made. I'm just gonna say it right now. This was the perfect send off for this franchise. That's where they should have ended it. Now I'm not saying the Rob Zombies and the David Gordon Greens are a bad reboots. I'm just saying, if you're gonna end a franchise, the way they did it in this movie was fucking perfect. I love this movie. This was probably one of my favorite Halloween movies of this whole franchise. It's definitely going to S tier above the first movie. Sorry to say, but I loved that Jamie, not Jamie, fuck, Jamie's Laurie's real name. Sorry, I love that Laurie brought the fight to Michael. She was not running anymore. She faced her fears, and they had that one-on-one fight, man, and it was badass. Like, it was awesome. Then the ending scene, you had um, her and Michael fighting again, and then he gets stuck between a tree and a van. She cuts his fucking head off. So that'd have been the perfect way to end this franchise. I thought it was perfect. I loved it. But then you had the next movie come out. I'm not gonna say I wasn't excited for it because I love Halloween, but when I watched it, I was like, alright, it's not bad. But the story in the beginning pissed me off, and I'll tell you why. You bring Jamie Lee Curtis back just to fucking kill her off in the first maybe 10-15 minutes of the movie. Why? I didn't like that. Did not like that at all. And for that reason, it's going below. It's going low on this fucking tier list. But the movie itself is not bad. I actually thought that the Michael Myers mask and the person that played Michael Myers in that was actually good. But if it was different circumstances, I feel like what they should have done was brought him back. He done what he done. I feel like the beginning should have been the ending. You know what I mean? Like the beginning of him showing up at the sanitarium should have been the ending of the movie, and they could have had another movie come out and maybe her finish him off for good for sure this time, but don't kill her off. That's where Halloween Ends coming out is gonna be a big factor in this situation. Who's gonna die? Who's not gonna die? Laurie or Michael? Blah blah. It's not below uh, Season of the Witch to me, because I like this one just a tad bit more. I just didn't like how they killed Laurie. But the way I was talking about the ending of the beginning should have been the end was like not even fight, not kill her off, but just him showing up and she sees him at the window and it goes off. That's what should have happened. But I'm gonna put it at C, above Season of the Witch. But it's not bad. I enjoy watching it sometimes whenever I get bored, if I get bored. But yeah, Halloween, Rob Zombie. This movie was done very well, I thought. A lot of people hate on Rob Zombie, a lot of his movies, etc. I am a hit or miss person with his movies, and you'll find that out here in a minute. This movie right here to me was pretty damn good because it showed his backstory and it showed a different type of Michael. It was a more brutal Michael. It was a taller Michael. The guy that played him, Tyler Mane, did an amazing job. I thought he was very good in the role. The way they made his face look, the eyes, the way he moved his face and his eyes, eyeballs, you see all that shit, it just made you feel like, damn, this guy's scary. And to me, this one's up there, man. It's very up there for me. Now, when we get to the second movie, we're gonna be like, what the fuck happened? But if I was to rate this between 5, I would say it's better than that for sure. Better than 2? No. Better than 6? Hmm. I'm gonna say yeah. I would put it behind 4, honestly. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Now on to the second Halloween 2. Halloween 2, sorry. Rob Zombie. This is where it took a left turn. Because you had his mask coming off, which, the mask is everything. to me. If you don't have the mask, then you don't have the movie. No Michael, no mask, no Laurie, no Halloween. Simple. This movie, it took half of it off because of what happened in the last one. She shot him in the face, etc. I don't know how the fuck he survived that, by the way. But anyway, then he went into like a hillbilly state. He lived in the woods with the over tight coat on. I don't know. Then he didn't have the mask on most of the movie because the girl ripped it off. Then you had him grunting, which he rarely does. I don't think he ever does in the old ones, but if he does, I missed it. And you had him talk at the end. You do not have Michael Myers talk. No. He's a mute for a reason. That's more scarier that way. Do not have him talk. That's where you messed up at. And then you killed off the rebooted Laurie Strode and him dying and Loomis dying at the end of the movie. And the white horse thing with his mom was weird to me. I didn't really give a crap about that. This movie below, well, like I said, it's gonna be below here. Actually, it's gonna be accuracy of the village. It might be in D. Like, it's not terrible, but it has those flaws that makes it low tier. I'm not even gonna have a D. It's not that bad, but it's shitty enough to be at the bottom of the barrel. Now, on to the rebooted again Halloween. That's like the original Halloween, 2018. When this first got announced, I was excited, but I was leery about it because of Rob Zombies. I'm not saying that it was going to be crappy. And like I said, Rob Zombie had a hit or miss for both movies. The first one was good, the second one wasn't. So this is where I was like, what are they going to do with this? And they announced that Laurie was coming back. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, Scream Queen. Had to bring her back. It's the only way it worked. This is a sequel to the very first original movie. That made it even more better. Because it took everything after the first movie out. Even the second one, which was a sequel to the first one. And it took out the brother-sister thing. This one was really done well, and they tried to mimic the mask from the original, and I think they did an amazing job. I love the mask in these. I love James Jude Courtney as Michael Myers. He does an amazing job. This is some of the best Halloween movies I've ever seen, out of all of them. Now, is it up there with the S? Maybe. We'll get to it. I'm trying to look at my list here, and I'm sitting here saying it's way better than C, it's way better than B, it's better than A. So yeah, I'm gonna put it S2, but where at S2? I don't know yet. I'm gonna come back to that maybe. Now we're gonna get to Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is one of those movies. It's a sequel to the Halloween 2018. This one came out last year. I went to watch both of these in theaters. I genuinely, and they also come out on Peacock when it first came out in theaters, but I went to watch it, and then I went and turned around and watched it on Peacock with my friend, and he actually liked it. I genuinely thought it was a good movie. I love how the mob, like the townspeople mob, wanted to kill him. There's a couple like weird ass shit going on, like Evil Dies the Night, etc. People are like, But does it compare to the first one, to the remake? The kills, yes. The mask, I thought was badass how it was burnt, and I would honestly put it bottom S, top A. I think it's better to me. It's better than these and all these because this new generation of Michael is pretty fucking terrifying, and it's awesome. It just makes you like, I don't know how to explain it. It just makes you want to be like, wow, this guy's got it. Plus they brought Nick Castle back. Like, you can't beat that. They brought a lot of the elements from the original back. They even had a flashback in this one. So like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this one. I really do enjoy this one. But Halloween 2018 is where I have a standstill. This is what I'm gonna say right now. I would honestly probably keep it where it's at. Because H2O is my favorite. The only flaw they had in that movie was the different mask they used. If they would have had an awesome mask, maybe the sixth movie, because I think they were going to go use that mask from the sixth movie to the seventh. They should have, because that mask looked good. But they had a CGI mask, never been done before. They had like 3, 4, 5 different ones. It was weird. So I think this is my tier list. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Let me look. H2O is my favorite, of course. Halloween original, can't go past that, really. Yeah. 4. 4 is up there, man. I don't care what nobody says. Remake. 6, 2. I'm trying to decide if I like 5 less or more than Resurrection. I'm gonna say less. You know what? I'm gonna give it B. I got to. Like I said, it's not terrible, but it's not the best by no means. But I think this is my tier list. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Like I said, top 3 can't be beat. The Halloween ends. I can't wait to see where that's gonna be at, and hope y'all are gonna join me when that happens. But I'm gonna end the video on that. I still got another video to do for y'all. The Goosebumps tier list, probably. But much love. Always stay humble. Remember that. You guys have a good night.